The Kansas City Chiefs are headed to Super Bowl 58 to take on the San Francisco 49ers. And you know what we say around here on the Chiefs Report? Sub for Chiefs dubs. So if you're here and you are not subscribed, well, you ain't alive. Go down there and hit that sub button. We got the link in the comment section. You can go hit that little red subscribe button because we got Super Bowl coverage coming for you for the next 2 weeks. We're talking all about it right here on the Chiefs Report by Chat Sports. I'm your host, Jace Andrews. And without further ado, let's start talking about that AFC Championship game from last night as the Chiefs took down the Ravens 17-10 and advanced back to the Super Bowl, and they are continuing to show they are a dynasty. Anybody who had that doubt, anybody who said the Chiefs are not a dynasty yet, they're not what the Patriots were, they are not going to be what the Patriots were. Well, guess what? That's all gone now. They go into Baltimore's house. They take out the Ravens, and Baltimore, well, they had the MVP in Lamar Jackson. They had the number one ranked defense, but it did not matter. Patrick Mahomes made plays when it mattered most. L'Jarius Sneed played an incredible game, even though Zay Flowers had a great time. But at the end of the day, guess what? It was Patrick Mahomes who came out and sent the Chiefs to their fourth Super Bowl in the last 5 seasons. This team is a dynasty, and you can stop debating it from here or there or everywhere. I do not care. When you go to 4 of the last 5 Super Bowls, you are a dynasty. That is exactly what the Chiefs are. And here's the thing. Patrick Mahomes has been a starter for 6 years. He's been to 6 AFC championships. He's lost 2 of them. By the way, both those, overtime. All I'm going to say is this guy has not lost an AFC championship game in regulation. He knows what to do. He is the best quarterback in the National Football League, and it is not close. The Lamar Jackson supporters, the guys who said Lamar was better, Lamar was going to show that he was going to be right up there with Patrick, where are they now? Because they're not there. It's not going to work, and Lamar Jackson is not close to Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes is way above here, and anybody else is down here. Let's start talking about the Super Bowl matchup, though, because that's what everybody wants to know about, and ultimately, that's the talk now. Chiefs versus Niners, a rematch of Super Bowl 54 back in 2019, and it was a really, really good game in that one. Now, there's 2 big storylines to follow in this Super Bowl. The first one being that rematch, like I mentioned, where Kansas City won 31-20. But in the fourth quarter, the score was 20-10, and the Chiefs, well, they did what the Chiefs do. They came storming back, won by 11 after all of that, and really showed what this team can be for the future. And now they have proven that for the past 4 years. The other storyline that I think everybody's going to follow is David versus Goliath. Now, what exactly do I mean by that? You have Patrick Mahomes, 2-time Super Bowl champion, certified MVP, probably the best quarterback in the National Football League. Actually, not probably, he is. Versus Brock Purdy, Mr. Irrelevant, who everybody wants to talk about that he's been taking a lot of pressure off by his playmakers. He is okay. His playmakers are elite, is what everybody says. You have Debo. You have CMC. But what we saw Purdy do in that NFC Championship game, I'm going to give him his flowers. He played pretty well. He led that team to a victory, and ultimately he is the one who really kind of secured the victory with a bunch of runs. So it's going to be a good game, though, because you have Mr. Irrelevant versus Patrick Mahomes, the first-round pick, who has been proven time and time again he knows what to do when it comes to playoff time. Now, we have 2 full weeks of Super Bowl coverage coming to you right here on the Chiefs Report because guess what? We don't stop. We get the season for 2 more weeks. That means more and more coverage, more and more videos, everything we want. We got it right here for you because we're covering everything from injury news to quotes from Mahomes. We got Super Bowl Media Week. Sam's going on the road to take on the Super Bowl Media Week in Las Vegas. We're going to get shorts from that. We're going to get interviews with Reed. We're going to have everything for you right here on the Chiefs Report. So hit that subscribe button. But I will say, although I'm excited for these next 2 weeks and I'm really pumped to cover the Super Bowl, I cannot wait. I cannot wait for February 11th when the Chiefs head to Las Vegas to take on the 49ers because it's going to be a good game. It's going to be one of those, I think, potentially Super Bowls to go down in history. These 2 teams have been time in and time out proven winners throughout their history and throughout the past 5 years. Honestly, if you want to go to the NFC side and say if anybody was a dynasty, it'd be the Niners just because they continue to win and win and win. So with that, I ask you the question that we all ask. Who you got in this game? The Chiefs, the Niners, Super Bowl 58. I want you to get in the comment section and let me know. Type KC if you have Kansas City. Type San Francisco, SF for San Francisco 49ers. Let me know. And again, I told you this yesterday. pretty much once every 2 days, we're going to be doing something where you need to type KC in the comment section. So if you're watching this video, you're a regular watcher, just go down and type KC in every video from now to the Super Bowl. I want the good vibes rolling, and plus, it already favors it in our favor for the KCs for Kansas City. Who you got, KC for the Chiefs, SF for the Niners? Let's take a look at some injury news. I know that's the basis of this show because ultimately there is some still lingering issues. Now, the good news is, like I mentioned, there's 2 weeks to recover, but there are some guys that are a bit concerning. Let's talk about the 5 injuries that are the ones that we kind of know of and have heard about. Derrick Nnadi with his tricep injury. He has missed the last 2 games of the Bills and the Ravens. Luckily, this Chiefs defensive line has played impeccable, including Chris Jones, who really played well yesterday. Willie Gay Jr., who was a game-time decision yesterday. Ultimately, that neck was too stiff. He did not play. Luckily, Leo Chenal stepped up. Jack Cochran played a little bit as well. But Drew Tranquill and Nick Bolton just showed why they are one of the best linebacker duos in the NFL. Joe Thuney, unfortunately for Joe, it seems as though he could potentially be injured for the next coming future. We don't exactly know the extent of him just yet. Potentially a tear there. Skyy Moore with his knee, and then Mike Edwards had that concussion. He left the game yesterday for a little bit after taking a hard hit. He did come back in. Shamari Connor, though, has been a good kind of backup option for Mike Edwards, obviously after losing Brian Cook. Now, I want to ask this question because these are the 5 guys that we're looking at first. Which injury of these 5 concerns you the most? Is it Joe Thuney, Willie Gay, Derrick Nnadi, Skyy Moore, or Mike Edwards? I want you to let me know in the comment section down below which injury concerns you the most here. Of these 5 guys, Nnadi with his tricep, Gay, Thuney, Moore, or Edwards, let me know in the comment section. Also in the comment section, you can find your $100 deposit match on Prize Picks by going to prizepicks.com/CLNS and using the code CLNS. Now, if you don't know what Prize Picks is, it's a skill-based, real money daily fantasy sports game, and it's super easy to play. You're not facing pros or sharks. All you do, you pick 2 or more players, you pick more or less on their Prize Picks projections, and then you can choose flex or power play, and then watch the winnings roll in. Now, they already got the Super Bowl Prize Picks, at least a little bit up them, on Prize Picks right now, and guess what? They have a deal for Patrick Mahomes, over a half passing yard, more than a half passing yard. Go get that right now. Go get it. It's a deal you cannot miss out on. And these 2, I'm pretty sure, are locks as well. Isaiah Pacheco, over a half, more than a half rushing or receiving touchdown. And then more on Christian McCaffrey, 35.5 receiving yards. We know that the Chiefs have really struggled with receiving backs, so that's the one I'm going to take on there. But I'm pretty sure this is going to be a good. I think over the last, I want to say 7 Prize Picks, I'm 5 of 7. So listen, I know ball. So go put these in right now. More than a half passing yard than Patrick Mahomes, more than a half rushing or receiving touchdown for Pacheco, more for Christian McCaffrey on receiving yards. Pacheco scored a touchdown in every single playoff game, and you can score with Prize Picks, turning $10 into $250 with just a few taps. Quick withdrawals, easy gameplay, and an enormous selection of players and stat types. Well, that's what makes Prize Picks the #1 daily fantasy sports app. Once again, go to prizepicks.com/CLNS and use the code CLNS for a first deposit match of up to $100. Shout out to Prize Picks. It's daily fantasy sports made easy. Thuney's probably the most concerned here because it was originally labeled as just a strain, but now there's a potential for a tear for Joe Thuney, which potentially could make him out for the Super Bowl. There was kind of a hope that the Chiefs win against the Ravens, that Thuney would be good to go for the Super Bowl. But now there's doctors' opinions coming in that saying it's a tear, saying that it's not a tear, all this, that, and that. So it's kind of one of those of we don't exactly know right now. Obviously, we'll continue to keep you updated, but Nick Allegretti did play well in his absence. And honestly, you got to feel good for the guy. The only thing that I would say, he had one where he missed a block and allowed a sack, but ultimately it was still very, very good from Nick Allegretti. There is one more injury we do have to hit, and it's maybe one of the most important ones. Charles Omenihu. Now, he left the game versus the Ravens with a knee injury, and you're probably asking, Jace, why is this one after him? Well, because although he did get injured, he talked to the reporters after the game, and basically they said, hey, I mean, you were in street clothes by the second half. You were ruled out pretty quickly. Are you going to be good to go in the Super Bowl? Well, in Charles Omenihu fashion, he said, do I look like somebody who is not going to be playing in the Super Bowl? No, I don't. We're good. Now, obviously, you can't take a player for his word because they all want to play. So here's a little bit more solid information from James Palmer. Now, there is some optimism with Chiefs defensive end Charles Omenihu that his knee will be good, as he'll have an MRI tomorrow, or rather today, to find out the extent of an injury. So they're going to have the MRI today. Again, we'll keep you updated throughout this entire process. So make sure you're subscribed. We get injury news by tonight. Guess what? We're going to have an injury update on Omenihu by tonight. So make sure you're subscribed and turn on those notifications as well. That way you know exactly when injuries happen and any news happens with the Kansas City Chiefs. Let's talk about Travis Kelce, because he broke another record yesterday, as he continues to just play at an unbelievable pace in the postseason. I'm telling you, him and Mahomes now own the wide receiver and tight end combo touchdown record over Brady and Gronk. They had 16 last week. Now it's at 17, 2 above Brady and Gronk. And then yesterday, he broke Jerry Rice's receptions record in the playoffs, as Travis Kelce now sits at 156 receptions, followed by Jerry Rice right below him, and then a long way in between those, Julian Edelman and Rob Gronkowski. And I got some news here. Everybody thought Jerry Rice's record was going to be hard to break. Travis Kelce just broke it, and he is 34 years old and has said that he does not plan to stop playing anytime soon. And considering these two guys are retired, he's obviously retired, well, Kelce may build a substantial lead as long as he's with Mahomes and as long as he's still playing at this high caliber, which I think he will. Let's congratulate Killer Trav, though, because he has another record under his belt. So get down in the comment section. Let's comment Trav today. I want you to type Trav because, man, he deserves his flowers. He's had some tough seasons this year. Had a tough season this year. Lots of media backlash for somebody I won't mention, but it's just, at the end of the day, dude's playing at a high caliber level in the postseason. Type Trav in the comment section right now. Get down there. I'll give you a second to do that. Travis Kelce with Mahomes in the postseason is just unbelievable. He has now played a full season of postseason games, in theory. 17 games is what would be a season of football. He has over 1,500 yards, 11.4 average, 18 touchdowns. He is averaging more than a touchdown per game. That is wild, along with over 130 receptions. This guy is insane when the lights shine bright, and ultimately there's this. Mahomes and Kelce, they are undoubtedly the GOATs in my opinion. I understand what Tom Brady did. I understand what Rob Gronkowski did. They are undoubtedly really, really good, but they are not the GOATs anymore. Patrick Mahomes has come in and has taken that title. Travis Kelce has come in and has taken that title. Why? Well, this season is why. Travis Kelce had a quote-unquote down year. He didn't finish with 1,000 yards. He was close, though. Patrick Mahomes had a quote-unquote down year, over 4,000 yards. I don't get when people say that Mahomes will never pass Brady. Mahomes will never do this. Well, guess what? I think we need to stop this argument that Mahomes needs more rings than Brady to be better than him. Right now, I think he's better than Brady. Did Brady win? 1,000%. He just won. But if Patrick Mahomes, who already got his team with, I'm going to say it, nobody on this team besides maybe Kelce and the preseason that you were looking at and saying, this guy's going to be amazing, and he wins the Super Bowl, I don't know what to tell you, because all those arguments, all those haters of, oh, well, Tom Brady won with nobody. Guess what? Now Patrick has done it, because I don't know about you, I didn't label Rashee Rice as the Chiefs' #1 wide receiver at the beginning of the season. I didn't label anybody on this offense to be game-changing playmakers. I didn't label anybody on the receiving corps besides Kelce. Guess what, though? They're the Super Bowl. You can doubt the Chiefs. You can deny the Chiefs. You got to deal with the Chiefs. Make sure you sub here for Chiefs Dubs, because we're getting all the content flowing for you right here on the Chiefs Report by Chat Sports. And like we said, sub for Chiefs Dubs, because, listen, it's a good time. We won yesterday. Now I want to win in 2 weeks. So hit that subscribe button. We got your coverage for Super Bowl 58 all right here on the Kansas City Chiefs Report. But for now, Chiefs Kingdom, peace out.